I am retreating. You ever turn on the camera and, oh my gosh. And you just have to question if this is how people like actually see you every day in the real world. It didn't get better. Sorry for all of this. It is very hot outside. And the thing is happening wherever like I walked home and I was fine the entire way, but now that I've stopped and I'm inside, I'm just like pouring sweat and overheating. But hello, I'm so excited to be starting another vlog. My name is Anna, if you do not know me. I am 24, I live in Atlanta, I'm a medical social worker, and I love documenting my life on YouTube, but I'm especially excited for this video because I have an especially exciting day of work tomorrow that I kind of wanted to show, and then I also am just excited to like catch up. It's been a little second. I took like 4 or 5 days off of vlogging, and I feel like a lot's happened in that time that I want to talk about. So this is gonna be a little catch-up vlog. I just got a couple packages, so we can do a little unboxing. And then also tomorrow, it's a resiliency retreat is what they call it for my work. So I'm going to like the big fancy building and I get to wear athletic clothing. They're providing breakfast and lunch. I get paid as if I'm just like at a regular work day. And then there's gonna just be resiliency activities all day, one of which is yoga that I keep hearing about. They keep being like, bring comfortable clothing for yoga, or they'll be like, when we do the yoga. That's what they keep talking about. But I'm kind of excited to see what the rest of it is too. So that's tomorrow. That's why I wanted to start the vlog today. I just got home from work, as I mentioned. Today, I'm trying to think, was it a busy day? It was a pretty busy day. I had a parent meeting that lasted like an hour and 45 minutes, which is a long time, but it was very good and very chock full of like very good information. But then I have to document the whole thing afterwards. And so taking an hour and a half long meeting and putting it into one note feels like it takes an hour and a half in and of itself. Honestly, it might. And then I had a couple like last minute transportation needs come up. I had 2 rounds that I attended. Actually, I feel like a lot of my day was like phone calls other than the family meeting. Lots of typing. But it's effectively kind of the weekend for me since I don't actually go into work tomorrow. It's just the resiliency retreat. But so yes, I cannot get over how much I'm little ladding right now. This vlog will have some catch up, it'll have some unboxing, it'll have some fun, irregular work day, probably some more catch up. I have so many topics that I am dying to talk with you about. So thanks for being here. I ate dinner and did a little bit of editing. I figured we could do part of the unboxing before I go shower, and then the other part I'm gonna need to go shower. Let's see, my manager texted me because I'd emailed her today asking how it's best to like add my time in for tomorrow since I won't actually be clocking in at the hospital like I usually would. And she just texted and was like, so sorry to bother you after hours, but I realized I never answered your email. And pretty much I can just add time in next week whenever I get back to my computer. That part of things is not interesting though. This is kind of funny because both of these are like very similar things. This first one is from Thunderbird Bar. It says, stay hungry for adventure. And then they're kind of all shuffled up in here. But they're certified gluten-free, 0 grams of added sugar bars. This is a variety pack, so we'll have to give them a little try, see if they're good. But some flavors I'm seeing, cashew fig carrot, Texas maple pecan, chocolate coconut cashew, and then the ingredients on the back: dates, cashews, almonds, cacao butter, cacao, Himalayan pink salt, matcha green tea, yapun tea, moringa leaf, vanilla extract. So that's why there's 0 added sugar. So that, as long as they taste good, is awesome. Mexican hot chocolate, snickerdoodle cashew tahini, chili pepita pineapple. That's creative. Pecan goji pistachio. Like, all of these sound so good. And hazelnut coffee maca. Did I say cashew fig carrot yet? I don't know if I did. I'm very excited for that. I love PR that I can eat. And then this next one is for a TikTok collaboration. So I got to like pick the product. And it was before I knew that I was getting other bars. And so Power Crunch. I got the cookies and cream and I got the lemon meringue. So apparently I had a need in my life for like protein energy bars, and now I don't. That need is definitely fulfilled. I am sitting all cuddled up while the sun is going down, continuing to edit because, like I said, I have like 2 days before this entire video needs to be ready and posted. Which brings me to another thing that I wanted to tell you about, little update that I've been so excited. I've been telling so many people this today, but last night I stayed up very, very late, like excessively late, like midnight late. First, because I was on this like productive spree of actually planning YouTube content again, making sure I know like what vlogs I'm filming, what vlogs are going live when. This is not a promise yet because I have to actually do it for it to happen, but I do think starting towards the summer that I'll be able to go back to 2 uploads a week, just like with things that are coming up. I'll have fun vlogs that will really be providing the content for ya. But so I stayed up late doing that, which was fun and it was great. I also stayed up late because I was figuring out what like legal documents I need to sell my car, since we've been talking about it for a while. I want to buy a new car, and in order to do that I do want to sell my current car for honestly like whatever they'll give me for it. I just don't want it anymore. I would pay someone to take my car right now. We had a falling out, we're fighting. I don't think we're fixing it between us, but the like caveat to me selling my car is that I bought it when I was 18, so it's both mine and my mom's name on the title, and like an Anna and mom on the title, meaning that both of us would have to be present to like legally sell the car, since both of us own the car, and she is in Missouri, and so unless she like literally comes to Georgia to sell the car, which also could be fun, it's not what we're doing, but it could be fun, I had to figure out like what had to be done so that I could sell the car just by myself, even though both of our names are on the title. And so I had this like big long chat with a CarMax guy in an online chat, and like he sent me the power of attorney form that my mom then I sent to her, and she like printed, filled out, got it notarized, and is sending that along with my title to me right now in like priority tracked mail. So pretty soon I'll have all of the like legal documents that I need to sell my car, and then it'll just be a matter of like getting things out of my car, vacuuming it, making it, you know, pristine tip-top condition to eventually sell it. So that was another reason that I was staying up so late last night. And then right when I was finally ready to go to sleep, my sister sent me this thread on Instagram that was saying how May and June flight prices have dropped significantly, and the person was basically saying like because of the crazy drop in prices, if you go to change your flight, like you can upgrade for pretty cheap because what you originally paid is probably pretty close to what an upgrade price is now. And I was like, that's interesting. I'm gonna look at that for my flights that are coming up from the summer at the end of June, because I paid an arm and a leg and a firstborn son for them, and they're $500 cheaper now than what I paid for them. And I think I just like struck gold in luck. So I went on the Delta app to change my flight, and for me to go from like the main cabin on the flight that I was already on to Comfort Plus, I would get a $20 e-credit back. Like they're basically paying me to go to Comfort Plus. So I was like, okay, twist my arm, changed my flight to Comfort Plus, and got a $20 e-credit sent to me by Delta. And then I was like, they wouldn't charge me more to go to main cabin from Comfort Plus. I was like, let's see what's going on with that. And so I go back in to change my flight again, and switching back into the main cabin, which like I wouldn't have been able to do initially because I was like already into it, and you can't switch into it if you're into it already, you know. But since I'd switched to Comfort Plus and got the $20 e-credit, I could then switch into main cabin, and I got a $450 e-credit for Delta, which is such a win. So like all in all, I got $470 back, which I'm gonna have to use it for flights. It's an e-credit, not a refund, but like, okay, I'll do that. Feels like such a huge win. That was like midnight. I was like in bed with one eye open trying to change the flights and also like make sure I wasn't sleep-induced hallucinating and making sure it was real life. That felt like such a win for me, and I was so excited for it. I now need to edit some more. I really want to get this video just like done, because I also feel like since I had that whole planning session yesterday, this is like the beginning. It's not the beginning of something new, but like it feels like getting the ball rolling of everything that I planned yesterday.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side, our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
I should call.
Sorry. This is great content. Zach's shoulders.
This cream kind of burns when it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's good or bad? They can't see me anymore. You're faking it. Do your real.
But I'm making it.
Do your real skincare routine.
I am.
The people have been.
I
They've been
gotta
up
put
in
on
my.
my CeraVe.
You gotta put your hand behind it so it. You know how they do that? See, there you go. Did you know that's why?
Night cream with 3 essential ceramides.
Did you know that's why people do that with the hand?
That's crazy. See, I put on my
Look how long it takes me to rub this in.
I put on my thinner one. My thinner one. This
What does
one.
that one do?
It's with the things, with the renewing skin.
What ingredient would people recommend?
Retinol.
There you go.
And then this one is thicker, so you put it on second. I learned it from TikTok.
TikTok.
And I guess common sense.
I think if it burns, that means it's really moisturizing me.
I learned that from TikTok.
Learned that from TikTok. Look, I have so many empties over here that I haven't thrown away yet. This is an empty. I would get it again. I really liked it as a little moisturizing night cream. This is an empty. I would get this again, except it's kind of expensive. But it's their little glow oil. There actually might be some more still left in there. It's not yet an empty. Perfect, 4 drops, that's all you need. Now it's an empty. I love the way it feels on my face. And then this is my last empty. It's the a.bea.s vitamin A that I have used for years with 0.5% retinol. So now instead I'm moving to, oh cool, I pulled off the label on accident. It's the Vichy retinol though, and I think it's a little bit more. So I just wanted to switch things up and see if I liked it better. I got to sleep until 7:10 this morning because of my little resiliency retreat that I'm doing today, and like I'm thrilled that I feel amazing. Loving this. It's 7:26 right now, so I think I have like 45 minutes before I need to leave, but I don't need to make breakfast, I don't need to make lunch because both of those are provided for me today. I get to wear my athleisure, so I get to pick what outfit I get to wear, and I feel like I'm gonna bring a bag that has like a book and water and that kind of stuff in it because I don't know, I just imagine that there's gonna be time for me to read today. So excited. But something I'm also excited for, I don't even see whatever just felt like where that went. I have several events that are coming up. Not even really. I just have like several reasons that I wanted new dresses, to the point where I thought about doing Nuuly, like the, oh, there, I'm so confused about that paper that fell because now it's right there. I considered doing Nuuly, the like renting dresses, clothes service, but then I was like, I don't know. I was looking at it and I just like wasn't feeling it as much. I was like, I can just buy some things. And so I like very carefully picked dresses on Lulu's to buy. Only now am I realizing they're like all different neutrals, but that's fine. And I want to try them on. Okay, this is our first one, a little brown and white. I really like, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it better, but I really like how it ties in the back, if you can see that. This one's giving like graduation party. This one's giving, I can wear it on my vacation. It's very quite comfortable. Like I said, I'm gonna have to figure out how to tie it better because I think the tighter I tie it, the more I can like support with these straps because it's all one thing. But very beautiful. It goes down to like right above my ankle, if you can see that. So not quite maxi, but like a little bit longer than midi. So I think I'm gonna wear this on a little weekend trip coming up, and then also like bring to my vacation, like I said. I'm a big fan of it. Okay, this is not fitting how it will currently fit because I didn't have the shoulder flexibility to zip it up in the back. And then also the straps are adjustable, so it'll be able to actually like not be made for someone 6 feet tall while being on my body. But I have a like formal wedding coming up. I feel like you can't see because this is bad lighting, but like, you kind of see that? There's like flowers in the tulle, kind of a subtle little detail. And then this one also, it hits me a little higher. It's more like a true midi. But I also really like this one. So far we're 2 for 2. And then last, but definitely not least, this, I'm loving it. I got this to wear for engagement pictures whenever we do those, which won't be until a few weeks from now, but I think this is so fun. I don't have it all the way zipped up in the back again. And it also hits me, I feel like right close to where the first one did, above the ankle, below the calf. But it's so, look at this. I love this. So that's my Lulu's haul, all 3 dresses that and I'm feeling very excited for it. And now I need to get dressed for my actual day ahead of me. I would not say that this is my favorite outfit in the world, but it'll be fine. I'm just wearing my black Lulus and then this brown tank top. And then because it's a tank top, it's the black and the brown that's getting me, but I put on brown leggings. I think they're Ovines and they just like, they're comfortable, but they're not like worky outy comfortable. So we're doing brown, black, and then this will just kind of be cozy on top for if it's cold in our room. Got my sunglasses ready. I'm gonna pack my bag, put like the snacks, wallet, book, that kind of stuff. And then I think I'm on my way, which is kind of exciting. I haven't eaten anything, so I might honestly have a bar on my way there because I'm getting kind of hungry. And I'm banking on them having coffee there. I imagine they will. They have a coffee shop, if nothing else. It's so fancy. I'm getting paid for this. But I guess I do feel like if they're providing breakfast, I imagine that would mean that there's coffee there too. Let's bring you over here. Part of me was semi-hoping to like get some things done this morning, like start putting away laundry that's been waiting for me for a week. Continue working on my editing, and I obviously like did not do that, but I think that's fine because this is my resiliency retreat morning. I am retreating. Book, deodorant, badge, and keys because I'm taking Zach's car, if that's not obvious. Wallet, AirPods. Of my new bars, I'm gonna bring cookies and cream and chocolate almond butter sea salt, and maybe just one more for good luck. The matcha one for good luck. Every time I go to this fancy location, I'm tempted to buy food because they have this little like snack area that you can just easily buy, and it's great and wonderful, except I don't need to spend money. I'm making money today. Okay, I think I'm ready. Do I look like a girl on her way to work? I'm excited for today. All right, something that we have not yet talked about. Well, last video, I read to you like my email that I was sending saying that our apartments had sent our renewal offer for next year to re-sign the lease, which I was really hoping to be able to do, but ultimately it's going up, as I mean can be expected, but it's going up kind of past the point to where there definitely are cheaper apartments around that we could definitely probably move to and save a lot of money. I am not looking forward to moving. I don't really want to. We haven't made any final decision yet, but I did email our office asking if it'd be possible to negotiate or like have a fairer price, because I mentioned in that video that there were some of our same floor plan listed on the website for less than what we're currently paying now. And so like, then why does it make sense for us to have to pay more, you know? Just doesn't make sense, but it's the way that rentals work. And they basically answered and were like, we do not negotiate, period. Which means that our renewal offer is the over $1,800 for just rent. So that's not even including like the fees that come on top of that, power, all of that. And so tomorrow, actually, it'll be a different vlog. So if you want me to vlog it, let me know. If you are excited for it, let me know. But we'll be touring other apartments to see where to move to next. I was so hoping to not have to move this year, just because moving, I hate it. And also like the actual physical act of it, but also I really like our current apartment and I wish that we could just stay there, but it looks like we likely will not be. So our lease is ending in July, and so we would, if we're moving to a new place, want to get a lease that starts like a little bit before that. What I do think though is going to be good this time is that I do believe we'll be using movers for the first time in my life. Every other time I've moved, it's just been like my own two hands, Zach's own two hands that are moving things, and I think it'll be very nice to use movers and will probably help the process a little bit. So nothing is set in stone on if we're still in Atlanta. We're still staying in Atlanta. We just have to change apartments most likely. And so I'm hoping that at least one of the two that we tour tomorrow will be great. But like I said, a lot of apartments in the area are cheaper than what our renewal offer was by like quite a bit for a lot of them. And then a lot of them are doing lots of move-in deals now too, of like a month free, 2 months free. One of them's doing like a month free and $1,000 gift card. Like, so it just is not economical to stay in our current apartment, even though I love it. So that's something that will be coming up that I just wanted to let you know, since we've kind of decided it since I was last vlogging.
Sometimes if I was just the client, I might say, if we identified a barrier, like what would be, how can we problem solve in the tray? And it's, why is all this wrong? And it's supposed to be the good parts of my life, but now you're telling me at work that it's.
I don't know if I can fully explain just how lovely today was. Like, truly lovely. So most of it was kind of what I expected. We started the morning, we did like introductory activities, and then we did sort of like a self-care exercise where we talked about different aspects of self-care and like ways we can get better, ways we're already good at. And it was really bonding, I feel like, with the people around. And then after that, we did art therapy, which I have my finished piece over here. I'm actually kind of glad of how it came out. This was like not the prompt. Like they were like, you can just make it be whatever you want it to be. And they had us start by, I guess this was like the therapy part of it. They had us start by visualizing our like safe place, like somewhere where we just feel like so good and so calm. And then they also had us like think of things that are stressing us in life. And so you started by like making your safe space on the canvas, like in this little circle, and like either writing words or like drawing things that your safe space means to you. And then you like put the things that are stressing you outside of your safe space. Once we actually got started with the paint though, they were like, you can do whatever you want with the paint. You can cover up the stuff that you just did, like cover up the things that stress you. You can like add color to it, add outline. And just like with my artistic ability, I knew it would stress me out. Like I cannot paint, especially on like fabric. And make it look good as items. So I kind of started doing like the different colors and just doing little like swatches of it. And it actually took quite a long time. Like it probably took a full 45 minutes to make that. And I am like genuinely proud of how it came out. I kind of want to figure out how to like wrap it, you know, so it can be like a canvas kind of, because I'm keeping that. And then we had lunch, and after lunch we did play therapy. So we like created a sand tray with different like figurines, and you could pick things that like represented your life into your sand tray or like had different meaning to you. And we also just talked a whole lot about like play and how play is typically seen as like a childhood type thing and not something that you do as an adult. And sometimes when people play too much as an adult, that's like seen as not a positive attribute. Like it's, oh, they're not serious, they don't have their priorities straight, they are forgetting their responsibilities, whatever. And she was just talking about how like play is not just something fun, it's something vital, and also is a way that you connect and that you learn boundaries and that you experiment and that you try and that you just like enjoy life. And so she was talking about play in the sense of like play is something you do that you're doing just for the sake of itself. You're not doing for productivity or for like the outcome. So I mean, sort of like puzzles, like you just do a puzzle for the sake of doing the puzzle. You're not like doing it for some reason. A quote that she put up on the board that I would have included in the little montage that really stuck out to me, and I feel like is what I've tried to talk about on this channel. I feel like I haven't focused on it all too much lately, but definitely this time last year I was focusing on it a lot, but just how real self-care is. And the quote said, "True self-care is not salt baths and chocolate cake. It's making the choice to build a life you don't need to regularly escape from." Like I said, I feel like I haven't said it as much recently, but I used to say like, I hope you have so many little reasons to smile in your day. And I feel like it's kind of that same mindset of like the things that you enjoy in your day don't have to be like big things or things you spend money on or time that you specifically set aside for like self-care or enjoyment. You really just want to like build your life, build a life that you don't need to regularly escape from within the things that are in your control. Obviously not everything's always gonna like feel so so fun and dandy in life, but the things that are in your control, making them work for you and be best for you so that you don't have to escape from your life as often. And then after the play therapy, then we went down and did restorative yoga, and I genuinely think I passed out asleep. I'm not sure. I don't remember that much of yoga because I was just like I'm gonna say I was so like relaxed and zen, but I think I might have just been asleep. It might have just been my nap time. I'm not really sure. And so that was like really great. I think I explained this in the beginning, but it was just a resiliency retreat. They do them several times throughout the year for my workplace, throughout like the whole organization, and you just have to get nominated by your manager, which for my manager meant that I asked her if I could be nominated. She was like, does anybody want to go to this? And I was like, yes, pick me. And so I like that was incredible. I wish I could do that every single Friday. I went and picked Zach up from his work on the way back home, and then we just got home. I cooked some turkey and rice for dinner, ate that, sat down, like watched some YouTube videos, and I'm about to head to the gym. I think I'm just gonna do quads today, like quads, a little bit of calves, and then maybe get on the elliptical too, just to kind of like round out the good, what am I thinking? Like the good vibe of my day, the good successfulness of my day. I feel like that can be a good way to kind of end it. And then something that's stressing me out. It actually like was stressing me out enough that I put it on my art therapy of things that are stressing me out, is like the clutter that we have going around. I feel like it always happens, or I always talk about it because I don't talk about it whenever it's clean around here, but just the fact that we were gone all of last weekend, so that like the laundry that was getting done wasn't like, there's just weekend chores. I'm a weekend behind, and I feel like it's really affecting me because everywhere I look around, I'm like, oh, that needs to be better. That needs to be better. So if it feels wonderful and peaceful for me after I work out today, I plan to try and get some of those chores going. But first, gotta work out. Let the record show that my laundry right now is away. The things that are not away is there's still a load in the dryer, but that doesn't count because it hasn't left the dryer yet. And then the fact that I actually need to do laundry like for this weekend too, but I'll just have to put that away whenever it gets to be time. So I wanted to do kind of just like as a last little segment of this vlog. I guess before I do though, I do plan on doing a weekend vlog starting tomorrow. So how earlier I was mentioning we're touring apartments, I've decided I will film that. And let's see, I'm getting like a facial tomorrow. Don't want to spoil the whole vlog for you, but I'm just hoping it's like a nice productive weekend. And it's also like last weekend we were out of town, this weekend we're in town, next weekend we're out of town again. So it's just kind of, there's a lot going on, but this weekend I'm in town. So I want to film it, and like several big things going on, like the fact that tomorrow, hopefully one of the ones we tour is an apartment that we end up moving into later in the summer, so could be very big. But I wanted to do a like what I've read recently little segment. I feel like, as you know, I really enjoy reading, and also I don't even know if I'm like in a slump anymore because I'm trying to like pick myself back up into it, but it's like not 100% happening. I have not been reading as much as I usually do, probably for like so many variety of factors. But in March, I'm actually not positive I finished a book in March. I definitely like read during March, but there's just been lots of books that I'm like not quite finishing, and I'm not reading at the pace I used to. So I just wanted to like talk about the ones that I have enjoyed, because it's not all that big of a deal, because there are still ones I'm enjoying. And I was thinking about going and grab it. I did get my Kindle. I mentioned it last week and I never like followed up with it. I did eventually get my Kindle. It took some extra work, and I have like the case on, pop socket on, but I think I'll leave that for the weekend vlog so that we can have stuff to talk about there. But recent reads, I listened to Educated by Tara Westover, which is a book that was so popular a few years back, like so popular. Everyone was reading it. Every book club, it was like a book of theirs. And it's a memoir about a girl who like grows up in like a very fundamental, I think they're Mormon, but I think they're kind of like more off on the spectrum than a lot of members of the LDS church are. And she was homeschooled her entire life until like going to college early. And it's just, I mean, it's a good memoir. It was a very interesting listen. It wasn't just like, oh, like you're on the edge of your seat. sweet because it's a memoir, but it was very interesting. Then I also listened to The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek. This I gave it 2.75. It's about like the blue people in Appalachia, I think in Kentucky specifically, and it's like the last blue person, and so it's just like about her life, and like she's a bookwoman, she like has a bad husband that I think ends up dying. Like it's just about her life, and it's about like the relationships around her, but I just wasn't all that enticed. I re-listened to, and I actually have the book with me, but I listened to it, The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand, just because I really love this book, and it was so good whenever, I remembered it being so good from whenever I read it the first time, and that was when I was kind of like, I need something that I can just like comfortably listen to, and it was perfect for that. I gave it 5 stars again, just like with my first read. I listened to a little audiobook. It's like a little booklet, kind of a miniature book called Ejaculate Responsibly, A Whole New Way to Think About Abortion, and it's I think 27 points that just talks about like, I guess exactly what the title says, and it was very interesting, and like doesn't take up that much of your time, so I think it's pretty good to listen to or read. I read Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. This one I ended up giving a 2.25. It wasn't bad, like I finished it and I got through it despite being in my reading slump, but literally the premise, which is like on the summary in the back of the book, 2 women meet at a bar in a college town and like hook up, and then the next day they learn that like one of them is a college senior and her best friend's mom is here for parents weekend, and like it was the best friend and the mom that got together. It's a funny premise, but it's 350 pages of that funny premise, and then it kind of becomes like, it transforms from being just like that funny premise into like more serious of like, is this something that we actually want to pursue and continue doing and like be in a relationship, and like do we love each other? Like it becomes much more serious than I feel like I thought it was going to be based on the summary in the back. So I got through it, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then I listened, this was a very interesting book. I listened to The In-Between, Unforgettable Encounters During Life's Final Moments by Hadley Vlahos, and she read the book herself, like in the audiobook. She is a hospice nurse, and so this book was just about like different experiences she's had as a hospice nurse, with her having been by and like near, and I've gotten to know a lot of people as they pass away. And I really was interested in reading this book because I feel like in my current job that is something that I do and that I don't necessarily feel like I have a lot of knowledge in, and it's just, I feel like it's so beneficial to hear from different people about like their different experiences and the emotions they feel. And there's just like certain emotions that are present when people are passing away, especially when it's like a hospice type of situation, that are just very hard to describe. And so I feel like I've been like seeking people's experiences and expertises on that, and it was a very interesting book to read. I really enjoyed it. I was just scrolling, I forget if I was scrolling on Goodreads or if I was like just scrolling on Libby and seeing what books were available now and how I found that one. And then a couple of books I'm in the middle of. I started Magnolia Parks back in March, whenever I said like I read, but I didn't finish any books. I think this will be good once I like actually get into it. At least I really hope it will be, because I was kind of like really excited for it, but I just have not yet been able to get into it. I have not DNF'd it. Like I'm 100% planning on finishing it, even though it's been probably 6 weeks since I've read it. I feel like I need to be more in a reading mood and less fighting of a reading slump in order to continue reading that one. And then I'm also in the middle of The Institute by Stephen King, which has been interesting so far. This will be my second Stephen King book. This was the first one that I ever read. If you remember that, if you ever watched the like monthly reading vlog from August of last year, that one was in that. It's very interesting. I stopped reading it just because Happy Place came out by Emily Henry, and now I'm like slowly moseying my way through that one, and so I'm just planning on finishing Happy Place and then getting to this one. And then now that I have a Kindle, my Kindle, I have library books and like new releases available to me that way. So I feel like I'm getting the itch again to begin reading again. It's been slow for the past few months. All of that being said, definitely subscribe, especially because the next video, if all goes as planned, will be this weekend vlog where you get to see the new apartments we're touring. I go get my facial. I think I got a little shopping to do. I think I got some fun coffees I want to get. Those are the vibes that I'm aspiring for this weekend vlog that's starting tomorrow. And then, like I said, just things are kind of busy coming up in very exciting ways. And so thank you for being here for this video, and I will see you for future ones. See you next time.